This is the Whole Care Network. Helping you tell your story one podcast at a time. Content presented in the following podcast is for information purposes only. Views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host and guest and may not represent the views and opinions of the Whole Care Network. Always consult with your physician for any medical advice, and always consult with your attorney for any legal advice. And thank you for listening to the Whole Care Network.
The following podcast sometimes offers unusual solutions to usual problems. These solutions are meant for qualified agencies or individuals to put into action. And I'd be willing to bet that's not you. Listen, folks, we don't take ourselves too seriously. Neither should you. So, let's go have a laugh. Welcome to Unscrew It Up. We are the show that offers differently twisted solutions to life's little problems. I'm Josh.
I'm Amanda.
Amanda, I am so excited for us to address what we're going to address today, and that is going to the movies.
That's correct. I have recently gone to the movies, and I have many, many thoughts and opinions. I'm here to fix it.
Excellent. Well, before we do that, I do have something from Wilson Technologies. Wilson Technologies, of course, is a subsidiary of familiar Wilson's Media. We spout with the ideas, and then they go and they make things happen, although they have not, as of yet, made anything
happen. All right.
So let me play for you this audio intro that we've mocked up for Wilson Technologies, and you tell me what you think.
All right.
Wilson Technologies. We love the badonkadonks.
Oh my God. Is Sir Mix-a-Lot on this board of directors in your mind?
I cannot lie.
I realize that wasn't his song, but it still made me think about it.
So was it.
I don't know. It just still made me think about his love for the big booties.
I got to tell you, I come up with brilliant ideas all the time. This is why we have this podcast, so that I can just spout with the ideas. And I have an idea whose time has come.
Okay.
Now, this is going to seem like, oh my God, he's talking about bathrooms again. Yes, bathrooms are foundational to our existence.
True.
Everyone needs one. Sometimes.
Many times a day.
Yes. Sometimes you need to commit an act in the bathroom that is not something that you really want to do in your bathroom because there are consequences. There are consequences for the other people in your family. You don't necessarily want to render a restroom useless for a few hours. That's not convenient. So I am proposing that Wilson Technologies lead the way and start a company, Uber, for restrooms.
Oh, God. They're no. There's already so many holes in this plan. You can't wait for the Uber restroom to get there. Usually when you're going to do something that's going to cause the bathroom to be rendered unusable or whatever for the next couple hours, it's kind of an emergency situation. You can't wait on the Uber bathroom to get there in the 2 or 3 minutes that it might be hanging out nearby.
So you're already poking holes in this. What if Wilson Technologies can solve that? And they can come up with a way for there to be a system where you hit a button or you call a number, or it probably have to be an app. Help, I need a restroom fast, and a restroom on wheels rolls up, you run outside, you do your do, and then you're done. Boom. All the unpleasantness stays with the restroom. Okay, fine. Wilson Technologies, if you cannot sort that out, I have an alternate idea. Okay. How about each neighborhood have a restroom or a bathhouse or a separate place, like at the end of the block, real close, that you can use if you do not want to use the one in your house?
We have those. We have porta potties at the end of the street because it's a construction zone.
No one wants a porta potty. We want something that's nice. And so I think next to the mailboxes, we should also have a nice bathroom that's paid for by our association fee or however we work it, not just particular to us, but anyone. And you run to that bathroom, you explode or whatever you need to do, done. Maintained with your fees, done. Taking it out of the house, perfect. Seamless, faultless idea.
You really do think a lot about bathrooms.
We all think a lot about bathrooms. I'm just brave enough
This is okay.
to bring it out in the open.
You're speaking for the every person. Got it.
All right, but enough of that nonsense. Let's solve the world's problems. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wilsons will now unscrew it up. Movies!
All right, Josh. So as you mentioned, I have been to the theater recently. I took the 16-year-old to go see Barbie. And
How was it?
The movie's great, but
Yeah.
it was also such an experience because everybody there was in pink. I mean, guys were in pink, girls were in pink. Bless them. The boyfriends going with the girls wearing their pink polos, and the girls purchased for them. But it was a really fun experience seeing it with a whole bunch of people. But with that comes the experience of seeing a movie with a whole bunch of people.
What we're going to do is we're going to each give our ideas, as Amanda was about to do. She's going to state a problem and then give her idea for a solution. And then we're going to send it to a person or organization to try to give that solution that we offer feet or wings or whatever it will take to make it happen. We are going to send 5 suggestions from this list that we're going to narrow down to Haley Joel Osment.
Oh, is Haley Joel not busy right now?
Well, I assume that he's striking with all of the other
right.
people.
Well, I was going to say we could send this to the studio heads because they're not getting any work to produce right now.
Yeah,
Because
well, I'm not certain that we trust their solutions in any case. So we're going to send it to Haley Joel. He is going to, I see solutions. That's what he's going to say. And then he's going to fix it. Oh, so you have, I think you said 6
I do.
problems and solutions. I have only 3. I'm very excited. So let's have you go first.
Okay. Well, this was the thing that spurred it. So we got there 45 minutes early, got our tickets, but our local theater closest to our house is the one where, and maybe all theaters are doing this now, I've not been to another one in a while, where it's assigned seating, right? So you buy your ticket and it gives you the map of the theater. It shows you the 2 seats that are yours, but then all the other ones that are open. There were 1 or 2, but not together in the back. And then we were in the 3rd row. I do not like sitting very close to the screen. It makes my head hurt. I have to lean. Thank God the seats lean back because I have to lean back to look at the thing. And we come in, we sit. Movie theater pretty much empty. We got our popcorn. We sat down, and she kept looking around. Okay, we're gonna move. But then it very quickly filled up. The problem was people misunderstand this movie being a kids movie. This movie is not a kids movie. Now, you could probably get away with taking like an 8 or a 9-year-old to this movie, but the people behind us brought a lap infant and a toddler. And those children were in the aisle right behind us because we were, you know how you have, it's sort of like separated where there's seats that are by the screen and then there's a walkway and then the seats, the stadium seating. They were running around and playing the entire time right behind the 2 of us. And it was so distracting. And the family was just letting them do it.
That's the worst.
They didn't get up and take the kids out. They just let them play right there behind us. And it was, I mean, we still enjoyed the movie, but so distracting. So I was thinking, people are insisting on bringing children to movies that these children do not belong in. It's not good for the children. I mean, now Barbie content that's not appropriate for children was all dialogue. It was going to go over their heads. But people bring kids to scary movies. People bring kids to action movies. Remember when we would go to the church and there was the cry room, which was at the back of the auditorium or the back of the sanctuary, and you'd sit in the room and it would have rocking chairs and you could still hear what was going on, but you were far enough removed and you weren't bothering any of the other people. If people are going to insist on bringing children to movies they do not belong in, we need a separate room for them that is soundproof, that these children can go play with toys in, and the people must then stay. I don't mean daycares. The people must then go stay in this room with their children and experience it instead of making me experience it with their children.
Okay. I understand. I get that. And as a person who would never bring their kid to the movie, I am all for that idea. However, as the spouse who would take the child into the cry room at church, no one wants to be in the cry room.
Well, then just stay home.
Well, then that. So cry room now isn't a solution. It's a deterrent. if I wasn't at that point in my life afraid that Jesus would instantly kill me if I left church, then I would not. I would have been like, okay, kids crying, we're leaving. We're going. Yeah. We're going to go to the mall, play area. You enjoy your religion. See, you wouldn't want to be you.
Right.
So...
See, would want to be
so I get Cry Room, but Cry Room to me is a non-starter in a movie theater that you're paying money for, because that probably would teach you a lesson. So that would be the last time you would ever take your kid to a movie, because you're like, this is the conversation. Okay, let's go see this movie, Barbie. Okay, well, let's take the kids. And then the one spouse says, or partner says, ain't no way. Last time I paid $16 for a ticket and I had to hang out with not only my kid, but everyone else's kid. So that is a good deterrent.
Yes. So do that, and they have to do it. It's like the movie people come in and say, "Here is your space. You have to go to this space. You can't let your kid hang out behind these people crying or dancing." Or
imagine that
doing.
Walk of shame,
right?
You're just head down walking.
I should have listened. I shouldn't have tried to bring my kid to Scream 3 or whatever this nonsense is.
I like that. All right, so good. So Cry Room at the movie, whether it's going to be practical for the parents or whether it's just going to be a deterrent, I don't care. It removes the problem.
Right. And I don't have this expectation at children's movies. I expect there to be talking at children's movies. I expect to hear children. That's fine. I do not want it in an adult movie. So maybe the PG-13 is the line. Maybe the movie rating is the line.
I think the line is any movie that the parent would actually be interested in watching. Kids are not allowed to go to that movie.
Fair enough point. All right, good.
This idea, I thought you were going in a totally different direction. And what you did there was you reminded me that this is a problem. So I came up with a
good.
solution.
So you have 4 now.
So I have 4 now. Front rows.
Yes.
Front rows should not exist in a movie theater. It's pointless. Pointless.
Something will always be a front row.
Yes, but what we're understanding is that the front row in a movie theater is just way too close. Yeah. The real problem is that they're trying to maximize space. Mm-hmm. They want to sell as many tickets as possible. No one wants to be in the front row.
No.
But they are forced into the front row. And of course, there's physical consequences. Your neck always hurts by the end of the movie, and you don't see the damn movie. So maybe it's a money-making thing where the people in the front row end up buying another ticket so they can actually see the movie. Don't know, don't care. We need to fix the problem. And I do feel the movie theater owner's pain. You do want to maximize the space. The answer is so simple. Mm-hmm. The answer is staring us right in the face. Already, movie theaters are going towards this trend of more and more comfortable seating. Mm-hmm. Beds.
Okay.
Beds. You can fill up the movie theater with beds. You show the movie on the ceiling.
Oh, nice.
Done. You get so many more people in there because it doesn't have to be like a full-size bed, right? So it would...
It's like a twin bed or like a nap
well,
cot
even a single bed. I'm not wanting people to pair up here.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Although that would be another novelty movie theater. Different kind of theater where there would be double beds or whatever. Not interested in fixing those. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. Full disclosure there, Amanda had to go tend to our 6-year-old who wanted to have something to eat. So we paused.
It makes it sound like we don't feed him.
We do feed him.
He had breakfast. He just needed a post-breakfast treat.
We paused, and while we paused for her to go do that, I looked up this idea of beds in movie theaters. And it does exist, but they've fallen down because they have movie theaters that you pay like $92, right? And you get in this room that has about 30 beds.
Well, they have to make it expensive because they have to do the laundry of all of the beds.
And they have the movie on the wall like
That's
normal.
ridiculous.
So basically, it's just a movie theater with beds.
That's pointless.
Pointless, and they've made it so that only super rich people can go do it. So I'm bringing it to the common people and saying, fill that room up with beds, single beds, don't need any beds for any other behavior.
Bring your own sheets.
Well, yeah. Yeah, bring your own sheet. Definitely bring your own sheets or a sleeping bag. Everyone could have their movie sleeping bags,
There
right?
you go.
Put the movie on the ceiling. Done. Great solution, bringing it to the masses. And to be honest, you're more comfortable because you're laying down. Your neck's not getting tired. Your shoulders aren't getting tired. Sure, you may fall asleep. We can battle that problem when we come to it. But I think that beds is an idea whose time has come.
Got it.
All right, what's your next one?
All right, my next one is along the lines of really distracting behavior in movie theaters, not unlike the children who cry, but the people who play on their phones.
Okay, that's kind of a hit against the movie, though, if they're playing on their phones.
Or whatever, taking selfies with their friends or whatever. They have the commercials before the movie starts. It says, please turn your phone off. People aren't going to. I don't turn my phone off because I'm a parent. And I was with one child at the movie, but you were with the other child somewhere else. So what happens if that child is ill and I need to meet you at the hospital, whatever? I need the impetus for having to have my phone taken away from me. So when we were growing up, if we went to the movies and something bad happened, we just had to find out about it later. But we also weren't parents of children in our, and so our anxiety wasn't higher. So I need what I am proposing to be a call line, a call center, as it were, that will then take messages for me and decide when I need to be interrupted in the movie.
So you put your phone on a shelf.
So we're going to get a bin like teachers have when you walk into a classroom,
Right.
and math class, put your bin in the basket. Your phone in the basket. You can get it when you're done. Everybody's to turn their phones in. You give the people who knew where you were going to the movie, I'm going to see this movie at this time. And then if they think they need you, like, hey, we're out of chocolate chip cookies, then you call the call center. The call center says, they make a quick decision. That's really, you didn't need those anyway. That's an emergency. Bye. But we're out of toilet paper might be an emergency. But this is what I'm proposing: a bin for phones and a call center to weed out all the messages that I may or may not need. That helps me deal with my anxiety. I don't need to worry about there being something wrong with the child or you. I can just not have the phone.
Now, what would I call you for? I'm quite certain I would call, and you'd have to tell the emergency call center people, tell him to lift the thing to find the thing.
Lift the thing to find the thing. Where's the remote? So
that'd be a great reason to call you.
I want to not worry about being contacted, but then my anxieties need to be relieved. So I need somebody else to field the calls while I am in a 2-hour movie. Take my phone away from me, give it to me when I get back.
So would this call center be like in a foreign land, or would it be based there in the movie theater? What do you envision this being?
I was thinking there in the movie theater. It's creating jobs, but should we not want to employ people to do this? ChatGPT can take care of it.
We don't want AI to take jobs that already exist. But when we're creating these new jobs, I think that it's totally appropriate that we have AI handle these calls. They're programmed with keywords. And then if it is an emergency, they determine that it is so, then there's a little sign right next to the movie screen that maybe has your seat number saying you have an incident that you need to go deal with.
I think that we had this when the kids were little in the church nursery. They would
would
give you a number, and then there was like at the deli where it would now serving 82 or whatever, it would flash a number.
Listen, if at the end of this episode you end up convincing me to go back to church, I'm going to be really annoyed with you.
I'm not trying to convince you of that. I'm just saying there were some techniques that the movie theater could learned from the Jesus Church.
You want for people to be separated from their cell phones, which I absolutely agree with. So we'll mark that down. We'll see where it goes. Next up, people peeing.
Okay. Can we amend that to people have the need to pee? Because when you say people peeing, it just sounds like they're just peeing in the theater.
Well, that could be a solution, just having the seats being toilets.
No,
really comfortable
God,
toilets.
Could you imagine? Weren't you just trying to deal with smells at the beginning of this episode?
Yes. Well.
Okay. No.
Okay,
no,
so that's a non-starter.
No.
But what if they suction you to the? Oh wait, no suction. Never mind.
No, God,
Do
that's
not
a
want to
different
create,
theater.
That's right. We are coming up with solutions to different kinds of theaters here. Maybe that should be a separate episode. But it's a reality that there's nothing more annoying. I don't want to miss any part of the movie. Now, they do have an app that tells you the best times for you to pee during a movie. That
Yes.
already exists.
That takes some pre-planning on your part, though.
Well,
Because your phone's in a bin. You're not getting your phone out.
Also, you're getting the plot to the movie revealed to you, I guess.
Yeah.
That would be a weird spoiler.
Yeah.
I spoiled the movie so that I knew when it was safe to pee.
Right.
So what if there was like a cue from the movie theater that this is a pee scene? So maybe like
It's not a scene in which people are peeing. Let's
no,
be clear.
this is again different movie. But there's like a very subtle yellow light that lights up like right next to the screen, and people know that this is a scene
not a
that's-
pivotal scene.
This is not a pivotal scene. This is a scene where it's good. I won't even talk about the brown light.
Oh, gosh.
Longer scene.
Yes.
But you might say, oh, but then that would create a mad rush for the restrooms.
Right.
So I don't know that that is a great solution. And by the way, what if there was an actor, like maybe a background actor, who happened to be like in all of the pee scenes?
That's
Like,
just
it's-
his sole purpose.
No, I don't mean that. I mean that happenstance always puts them in that scene.
Right. So
Like-
they become the poster person for this is when you see this person's face, you know that you can go to the bathroom. And that's solely what they're employed for in
but
Hollywood.
that would be a bad like behavioral response. That person just walking around like this.
People would immediately need to
People
go
are
to
just
the bathroom.
running from this person like instinctually. Can you imagine at the Oscars, best performance during a pee scene? Again, different movie. No, but I'm suggesting that maybe there are screens, movie screens, smaller movie screens in the restroom.
This was one of my solutions.
Well, go ahead.
So again, I mean, I'm going to just keep crediting the 16-year-old because I was talking to her last night. We saw the movie. What were the problems? You don't want to miss something. And so her suggestion was TVs in the stalls with remotes, or that you can program with whatever theater you were in.
Yeah.
Because even if you're seeing, when we went to see
Well,
Barbie,
you'd have to do it by your ticket, or else people would go just watch another movie that they had.
This is true. Like a QR code on your ticket, right? So it scans.
QR code on your underwear.
No. What is wrong with you?
No, go ahead.
On your ticket. That was... No, you just wanted to say underwear because I think you might be a 12-year-old boy. Anyway, you have a QR code on your ticket. You scan it. The screen shows exactly what's happening in your theater. And, but maybe if there are children running around behind me and people haven't used the cry room, I might just stay in there. There's got to be a timer on it, right? Like maybe 10 minutes and then it's like, all right, you got to go back to the seat now.
Well, sure, because how many times have you found yourself in the restroom and you're like, my God, I don't have to be here anymore, but I've been scrolling my phones for the past 10 minutes.
But I do that because I'm not being found by small children who need things.
Different story.
Well, no, not a different story though, because I listened last night as I was in the downstairs bathroom, which is right off the living room. He was in the kitchen with you, left the kitchen and came to stand outside the bathroom to ask me to open something from the kitchen in which you were standing in the kitchen.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter. They have a way of finding you.
Back on track here. Another idea I had was just to have the bathrooms in the back of the movie theater with just windows. Where
As long as it's soundproofed. Because I don't need to hear people
and
having digestive issues.
But the idea is then you could just watch the movie and experience the movie the way everyone else is experiencing, and you're also taking care of your business. You're done. You fold everything up. You go back to your seat.
You fold everything up.
Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. And you go back to your seat.
What do you fold up?
Well, I'm suggesting then movie theater bathrooms in the back.
Okay. I could get on board with
Or
that.
screens.
As long as they are soundproofed and smells can't escape them. Because you can imagine when they open the door to come back out into the theater, the odors that could be released.
I would definitely call this, though, the restroom with a view.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
All right. What's your next one?
There is an issue in this house when we are watching television that there are two of our children who need captions on for various reasons, for hearing, for paying attention. So a lot of times we'll go to watch something, the captions will be on. This bothers you because it's either not timed right, so it's a little bit ahead, so it's spoiling whatever's happened. Or...
Well, my problem with captions is very simple, is that I can't not look at them. Like, I understand it's accommodation for other people in the room, but if there's captions on the screen, I am going to look at them. I've tried to sit in such a way that my knee is blocking the captions, or sometimes I'll even put my hand up. That's not comfortable. So I'd prefer not to be burdened with these captions that I cannot not look at.
That's it. That's totally fine. And I think that, I mean, it is a compliance thing, right? I mean, it's an ADA compliance thing for people who need to be able to read what's happening. Movie theaters, you don't have the option of turning them on and off. This might be a thing. I don't know. But the 16-year-old suggestion was caption glasses. So like you get 3D glasses, but it's going to scroll the captions for whatever film that you're watching on the glasses so that you can have the captions, but you're not bothering anybody else around you with that experience.
I like that. That's pretty cool. And I mean, that's basically augmented reality glasses, which is a thing that exists right now. And they've had the Google Glass that went away. They have, I think, I want to say Facebook has a deal with Ray-Ban where they have glasses too.
Yeah.
So that's a thing and of course Apple has their new ski goggle looking goofy ass looking glasses. So that kind of opens up the ability to do other cool things in a movie theater. Remember pop-up videos?
I do, from VH1.
From VH1. Yeah. And so they'd show a music video and then they'd pop up little facts about the video. And that was cool. So especially if the movie's particularly boring, you could flip on that and maybe that'll engage you. Or if you're having trouble following the plot and you need a little help, it could be like that. You know, for those of us whose functional brain cells are decreasing ever the more every single day, that would be very helpful. Like following that movie Memento that shifted back and forth in time with black and white and color. That was just a total mess with my mind. So being able to have that explained in real time, very helpful.
Well, it also would help our marriage too, because the thing that I do that drives you nuts is that I'm constantly asking you, why did that happen? What's going to happen? And your point is I've seen the exact same amount of movie you have.
I'm watching the same movie you watch is what I say through clenched teeth every time you say that.
But I mean, I've done this since I was little. I used to drive my brothers nuts. And so this glass could be then equipped with, you know, a Siri or somebody like that where you could just whisper, hey, Siri, what's going to happen next?
No, here's a funny thing, because we don't want a bunch of people whispering in a movie. But how about, you know, we all have our own account with this movie AI and it starts to learn where it is you're deficient in following movie plots. And so it just cues it up for you because it's like, well, Amanda's certainly isn't going to get this.
No.
Although I can imagine like you being really annoyed.
Like I knew that.
Yeah. Because you don't like it when I do that sometimes. Yeah. And even if I helped you, you're like, I knew that. Stop.
All right. Well, I don't need the glasses mansplaining the movie to me.
Well, maybe you do. Hence this whole thing here. All right. So I like that, though. Caption glasses at the very least, and then utilizing AR, which, by the way, all of this I'm sure is coming.
Right.
You know, this is going to be a thing.
Or it exists. Maybe at the $91 bed movie theater, they have the fancies.
All right. So a lot of these solutions that we're putting forth are addressing problems. I do have some ideas that I just want to make the movie experience a little better. Theme ride movies.
Okay, so like you go to Universal and you do the Simpsons ride, but it's a 5-minute thing. You're saying a whole
movie. Now, this makes sense for like Jaws or Back to the Future or wow, I'm really dating myself here. Or the Mission Impossible movies. You know, the new ones.
Indiana Jones. That's right too. It's fine.
That's easy. Like you could definitely see them creating a theme ride around that entire movie because it's nonstop action. And I'm saying they do it where the seats move, but also like maybe they pipe in some smells that would help. Or if like it's a rainy scene, then you get some drops of water. Like you make it really immersive, and you're doing it with a bunch of people.
Right.
So you're preserving the thing that's great about the movie theater experience, which is also the thing that's the worst. People like that is experiencing it with a crowd. So you're able to do this in a crowd and it'll keep people engaged in the movie instead of talking. They don't have time to talk because they're on this ride and they're experiencing all of these things. Now, you'd have to work to be able to apply this to non-action movies.
Okay.
Like, let's say, Casablanca. You and I were talking about Casablanca earlier, and the end scene is so emotional where they separate and Ingrid Bergman's getting on the plane. And oftentimes when I watch something like that, like I get this feeling in the pit of my stomach, this emotion builds. Well, we can recreate that feeling in the pit of your stomach by dropping your seat.
That's right. It's a different kind of thrill, but okay.
So you'd have to work really hard, get a bunch of creative people together, and figure out how to make the ride work in these different scenes. Now, where this could fall apart, I understand. I've not seen Oppenheimer, and I probably won't, but I understand there's a 15-minute love scene.
Really long time.
Now, that would test the mechanics of this particular movie theater
15
ride.
minutes. Imagine the amount of film they had to take to get a 15-minute edited down
I'm
scene.
just trying to imagine going for 15 minutes, to be honest. So that, again, would take a lot of creativity. But I am suggesting these theme park type movie experiences. Yeah. So that's my thing.
No, I like it. All right. I can support that. All right. So my last one is addressing the need of having to get up and missing part of the movie. The other reason that you get up, other than going to the bathroom, is to refill your popcorn or get something from the concession stand.
Have you ever gotten up out of the movie and gone like to the side where people can't see you to answer a text, by the way?
No. Have you?
Yes, I have. With you. I like answer a text with you. Sometimes I've done that. Yeah. No matter. Keep going.
Okay.
Just popped into my head.
I mean, now you'll have to go to the call center. Call my wife and tell her whatever this is. So movie theater popcorn, so expensive. The best deal is when you get the big bucket if you're with people, right? And then it's refillable, but you got to get up. I am proposing...
Which, by the way, oftentimes we will be done with our first bucket of popcorn before the previews.
Before the previews are even started. We're just still doing the local commercials. I am proposing a popcorn refilling station in the back of the theater, kind of like a big ice dispenser, because you don't want people digging in scooping up the popcorn, because then they're getting their hands into things. Just like you would push up against an ice dispenser at a soda shop. What am I in the 50s? Like a soda fountain? What did I just say? Like a Coke machine, and you push it up and the popcorn falls in. But my bigger problem is that
wait. You're proposing that we have in the back of a movie theater,
yes,
right? Machines that you take your bucket of popcorn, you press the thing, and it dumps all the popcorn. That's what you're suggesting?
How hard is the popcorn you're eating? Popcorn doesn't go... Popcorn is soft. You're thinking of the popping.
Popcorn is not soft.
You're thinking of the popping, and you're thinking of ice. It's not going to be as loud as you think. Also, you have put restrooms in the back of the theater. So
there's been a window. If you take this concession stand and you put it behind,
in a soundproof booth?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's how the tickets are at the movie right now. You have to walk into like a little vestibule area, and the ticket machines are there. You don't even buy them from people anymore. You don't walk up to the window and buy it from you have to buy it from the machine. So maybe under the stadium seating, there's a door. You walk in and there's all your popcorn machines. And just like with the wine machines where you have a card and it will dispense the wine, you've got a card, or your bucket has a QR code on it, since we're big into the QR codes right now, and it will refill it. But my bigger problem is if I'm going to splurge and eat money and calories splurging popcorn, I want buttered popcorn. And when they put the butter on the top, within the first couple bites, it's done. There's no more butter. I need access to butter so I can just keep putting it on my popcorn.
So wait a second. I'm unclear as to what you're proposing. Do you want in the back of our movie theater for you to be able to go up and dispense popcorn
and get butter
from a thing,
yes,
or do you just want a butter hose?
No, I don't want a
butter hose. You
want
a butter hose, don't you?
I mean, I always want a butter hose.
What if there's just a butter hose at every seat?
It's too much. That's too much. I want to be able to refill my popcorn and put butter on it. Done. I don't know why you're acting like I'm asking for something. You want to be able to experience Casablanca by dropping people's seats down. I don't know why what I'm asking for is so egregious.
Okay, so I'm going to write down concession stand in the back, and then separate than that, butter hose.
You just want to keep saying butter hose.
Oh, that's my nickname in high school.
Oh,
all right, my last one, which, by the way, we have 10 things here.
I mean, I know which 5 of mine are going through.
Yeah, well, I know which one's not going through. Concessions in the back.
It's rude.
I'm going to veto that. Rude people.
Yes, they're everywhere.
Now, a lot of these have to do with rude people, but if we were to talk about the different behaviors that get on my last nerve.
You know what somebody did in the movie that I went to this week? They brought their own food, which is fine because movie theater food's so expensive, and I don't want to talk about the ethics of is that okay or not. But they opened like It had to have been like pickled eggs or something. It was the worst smelling. And then they had it in a Ziploc bag. They were sitting 2 people from me. So I don't really know what it was, but the foul odor that hit me was so bad. So can we add that? Just eating foods that shouldn't be eaten in a movie theater?
Yes, most definitely. So using the cell phone, talking too loud, crunching food, offensive food is what you've just said, shifting in seats, getting up.
I didn't think you said shifting.
Yes, getting up too many times. All of these behaviors, they can all be categorized as just like people inconveniences. So I need a system whereby when people commit a certain number of these egregious movie theater sins, that they're
kicked out?
They get the axe. So what I propose is that every time they do one of these things, their seat drops. Like maybe 6 inches, bloom. And maybe, I don't know how many strikes, 3 strikes, I don't know.
And then they're just falling into
and
an
then
abyss.
They've used up their allotted number of sins, and they're gone. Now, what we cannot do is we cannot have that decided by the people around them. Because, again, the idea is to not be distracting. And
right, but then also they'll know who to come after when the movie theater's over.
That's true. Well, what if, like, when they drop, they're, like, placed just somewhere so far away from the movie theater? But the idea here is I think that we need to relieve the people around them from having to do anything, because that's the point.
They want to attend to the movie. Got it.
So I want to crowdsource this.
Okay.
I want to make this a phone game.
Okay.
Now, this also, because it's a game, it incentivizes them not to just be a jerk about it. You know, they get points when they do it correctly.
So you've got people watching the movie and people watching the movie.
Right, but it's a game for them.
Right.
And
do they look like little avatars, or do they see real people?
I don't have to set this up.
Okay.
I don't have to set this up. We can't leave this up to individuals. It needs to be crowdsourced. It needs to be democracy at its finest. What it would take is a threshold number of votes for that seat to be lowered. So it'd have to be like, oh, you know, this guy is chewing too loudly. 700 people decided, boom, his seat goes down.
Okay.
What we've done is we've created another form of entertainment, and we are dealing with the people in the theater. And obviously, people are going to be on their P's and Q's because they know that this can happen to them.
Correct.
I think that this is a beautiful solution. I love this. This is probably one of my best solutions. And I'll bet you, I know how much you love your games. I'll bet you'd play this game.
I would play this game.
Because you love it.
I also like judging people.
That's
so.
right. All right.
But anonymously. Like,
yes,
I
it
don't,
is anonymous.
Yeah.
And again, we would mitigate abuse by making it be crowdsourced.
Yes. Got it.
Boom. The phone app game, Don't Be Naughty in the Movie Theater.
Got it.
Do you have any more?
No, that's it.
That's 10.
That's a lot. We had opinions about movies.
We need to whittle these 10 down to 5.
All right. Well, let's yay or nay it down the line.
Oh, no. That would take too long. This is another 30 minutes just for that. So you just tell me, you want me to remind you of what they all are?
Yeah, I want my popcorn in the back of the room.
Wait, now which do you want, though? Do you want the popcorn butter hose or the concessions in the back?
No, it's just popcorn and butter. That's all I need it to do for me.
So butter.
Popcorn refill. I don't know why this is hard for you.
Because I separated them out. Fine.
Okay.
Concessions stand in the back, but it would just be then popcorn, no drinks. Because
that's fine, because that would make you have to pee anyway.
It's very
so now we
specific.
need to solve the peeing problem.
So now wait a second. We didn't even delve into this in the talk about it section. If they wanted a drink, that's another place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't ever need to go refill my drink. And this is about meeting my needs.
Yes. Popcorn concessions in the back. All right. Well, I have to take the movie theater game app.
Okay.
That's one thing that I'm doing because, I think it's the most elegant solution that I came up with.
All right. So does that then replace the need for the cry room? Because are people going to get in trouble for bringing their children?
It's up to you.
You can't put the children down the chute, though. You can't do that.
Why? I'm not saying that we drop them. It's just the seat goes down and then they're gone. It's not.
They're gone to where?
They're gone just out the theater. It's not an abyss that we're sending them into.
Okay.
They're not falling hundreds of feet.
All right,
They're just being lowered. Now, the question, I guess, here is, are the parents being lowered with their children, or will the parents be happy to see their children go?
Right. No. Yeah. No. We need a cry room. We need. I propose we need You can't exist with people. You have to go be in your own room. But okay, cry room. Fine.
Cry room. All right. My next one.
We have to address the peeing. So either it's the yellow light or it's the screen in the bathroom with the QR code on your ticket. I'll let you pick which one of those you want to keep.
No, I'm going to go a different direction because I want to have the beds.
Okay.
I think that having a front row is bad, and I think having beds in a movie theater is good. So that's 4. You get to pick the last one.
Okay, so it's screens with QR codes because I need you to leave. I don't want you to be in the back of the room doing things. No, and can you imagine with the window and somebody walks by and makes eye contact with you while you're...
Well, no, it would be at the top, so no one's walking by. Like, you know how the auditorium seating is stepped?
Got it.
These would be up at the top.
Peeing at the top, concessions at the bottom.
No, concessions at the bottom. Then people are walking to the front to get... No, the whole idea is that it's in the back.
No, under the stadium seating.
Okay. This is... Boy, we've not fixed a thing. We're just finding more problems.
Okay.
All right, so these are the 5 things that we picked. This is your movie-going experience. You go to a movie theater that has all beds, and the movie screen is on the ceiling. So there's a lot of people in there, but you're looking straight up. You're not looking at other people. You're comfortable. Perfect. Now, if we do have people with kids, which, by the way, I imagine there'll be kids jumping on the beds, immediately go to the church cry room in the back. If you have to go to the restroom for any reason, you do get up and you go and you watch the movie in the bathroom. That's a thing.
I'm there. I like it.
If you want your popcorn to be refilled, but nothing else, you go to the back of the movie theater. Now I want to go to church again just to ask forgiveness for this episode because what a mess we've made of movie theater going.
And now that you've accepted the people, their seats get lowered, it's the beds get lowered.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you just tilt them out. The beds just tilt.
Well, that's good. But what if someone falls asleep in the bed? I guess they would only be lowered if they're snoring.
Okay.
Oh, this is a mess.
So what we need, listeners, dear listeners, think about these 10 things we've put forward and you email us or reach out to us on the socials and let us know which of these we should put forward. And we will come to you next week with the 5 crowdsourced solutions of bettering the movie-going experience.
That's unscrewitup@gmail.com. And so I think for the first time, we can say, I don't think that this has been
unscrewed.
We do have a listener letter. If you would like our advice, send it to unscrewitup@gmail.com. And this letter says, Dear Josh and Amanda, I always get called out for pointing out people's grammar errors, both in person and on social media. I think that communication is too important to not point these things out, but people don't often appreciate it. What should I do? Signed, Grandma Grammarly.
Dear Grandma Grammarly, never change.
Oh,
Be
come
your
on.
best self.
Okay, that's not some advice. Grandma...
People should get better at grammar, is what should happen.
Okay, but Grandma is experiencing difficulty in this and has asked for advice, and your advice is, I have no advice.
No, my advice is you're perfect just the way you are.
I think that maybe Grandma should let it go a little bit.
You think so?
I think that it's not that important. Listen, so there's this new social media app called Threads, right? And
yes.
so I've been using it as a Twitter alternative because Twitter has a host of problems, both technical and I think maybe morally.
Yeah.
So I've been learning this new social media app. And one thing that I've historically not done, but I've really, really underscored it with this one, is not engage with people in any way that would be seen as negative.
Okay.
Someone answered a comment that I made in jest with someone with a snarky response. And usually I would jump on there and be compelled to say something, even if it is, oh, that's not very nice. And then I realized that if I do that, it'll just propagate
Perpetuates it, yeah.
this negativity. And so I don't do that. Now, this idea of correcting people's grammar, I don't think that probably it's necessary, especially if they're trying to make a point. What you've done is you've just mitigated their point because they didn't use an apostrophe. Now, what are your rules? You say this is a thing that you do. What are your rules? Like, when will you let it go and it won't matter to you?
I mean, I'm not going to publicly shame people, but I will, if it's something that has greater implications. For example, if it's an organization that I am affiliated with, whether through work or volunteering or whatever, and they put something out on social media and something is incorrect, I will direct message the person who's responsible for the social media account and say, hey, catch this, or like, look at this, whatever. I'm not going to go to the post and then make them feel bad about it publicly. But I do think that, especially in business settings and educational settings, using correct grammar is really important. And I am guilty of posting without checking myself sometimes, and then thank God you can edit Instagram and Facebook.
You can't edit threads, by the way, and so there was
you
a
just have
thing.
to delete the whole post.
Oh no! And I I posted something yesterday that I literally deleted 3 times because I can't find, and it was like 2 sentences. And that's a different problem that I have to. Grandma, where were you? I needed you at that point. I understand in a business setting. I don't know if this is what Grandma is referring to here. It does say in person and on social media. So, Grandma, I think that it sounds to me like these are personal interactions and just, it's okay. Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And language is so elastic anyway. As long as we understand the meaning, it's not super important to get all bunched up over an apostrophe or your instead of your.
Now, I will fight you for the Oxford comma, though.
Okay, well, we'll have that fight off air then.
Okay.
Well, Grandma, I hope that this worked. Our solution to this, Grandma, do yourself a favor. Stop it.
Let it go.
All right, Amanda, I think that we've unscrewed it all up for today. What do you think? No, actually,
we screwed it up for today. We screwed up the
movies.
movies.
We made nothing better.
We need your help. Let us know.
We are a part of the Whole Care Network, which is a network of people who are dedicated to provide support and resources to those who are caretakers, for those who care for other folks. That's a hard thing to do, and we both know from experience that is so. And you need help. So the Whole Care Network is not just a bunch of really cool podcasts, but it's also educational materials. Whole Care Network University exists. It's something worth checking out. So go to thewholecarenetwork.com for that. Okay, friends. So until next week, whatever you do,
don't screw it up.
Bye-bye.
Bye.